talking a lot about drills that you can do, skills that you can acquire, information that you can have to help you play better golf down the road. But let's talk about right now. This video today is going to be about the things that you can do today to help you play your best golf that you can play today. So in a second, we're going to go outside and we're going to take a look at some things you can do the day before you play, before your round, and some tips in your round to just help you put it together and have a lot of fun on the golf course and play great golf right now. So let's talk a little bit about using the skills that you have at the moment to help you play your best golf and or enjoy yourself as much as possible on the golf course. And through the years, and I've gone from, I've gone from really struggling with my golf game to being able to play relatively well. But I gotta tell you, even when you get to the point where you're able to play the game and shoot scores even at par or below par, it is still actually a very frustrating game. And there are a lot of people who are shooting scores right now that most of us would love to shoot that are frustrated with it. So number one, whenever you get on the golf course or you're about to go out to the golf course, even the day before, you should have an expectation of not having any expectations. So do not have any expectations. You should be looking forward to having a good time on the golf course. And then once we get towards the day of playing, here's what we want to do. Make sure, if you can get enough sleep the night before, that's going to help out a lot. Make sure that you eat before you get to the golf course. When you get to the golf course, get there early. You should have a routine before you get on the golf course to make sure that you're going to get prepared to play. If you ever played sports, growing up as a kid, just think about if before your soccer game or your baseball game or your basketball game or football game, you would never show up 5 minutes before the game starts and think the coach is going to be happy with you and just put you in the game. You've got to get there early. You've got to warm up. You've got to get ready to go. So here's what we want to do. I would recommend starting off on the putting green because that's the place that people really need to work a lot, and that's the place where once they start hitting balls, they tend to never want to leave. So start on the putting green. Start off with short putts, and don't even putt to a hole. Go ahead and just put a tee in the ground and make 3 or 4 foot putts putting to the tee. What this is going to do is this is going to give you a lot of confidence. When you were able to hit that tee, the hole is going to seem enormous. It's going to seem very easy to hit. And if you just missed the tee by a little bit, you're going to know that ball would have gone in. So for 5 or 10 minutes, just practice putting to a tee. And you can see here, I'm also going to put down some golf clubs so that I can work on alignment as well. So I'm getting the sense for lining up my club face right down the target line and hitting that ball into the tee. Then what we want to do is we want to work on our lag putting. So go ahead, step off the green, and at first don't even putt to a target, just putt to the fringe 15, 20, 30 feet away and start to get an innate sense of how the ball is rolling that day on that putting green. How hard you're going to have to hit it to get the ball to roll a certain distance. Once you feel really good about the speed and you're able to get that ball to roll up near the fringe, then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and pick a target and just practice rolling putts different speeds and just try to get a feel for how far the target is and how hard you have to hit the ball. It's really simple, but so few people will actually ever do it. So now we've got our short putting. We're feeling good about our short putting. We're feeling good about our lag putting. Let's go ahead and hit a few short game shots, a few chips, a few pitches, just to get the feel for swinging those clubs around the green and making nice contact between the ball and the turf. If you have the opportunity to do this, get into a greenside bunker, a greenside practice bunker. Hit 3 or 4 bunker shots. It's amazing, and you're going to feel this as you start to get better as a player. It seems like you'll get in a bunker, you may not quite have the feel of the consistency because you haven't practiced, and you'll miss your shot a little bit. And you'll know, boy, if I would have just practiced in that practice bunker, I would have a feel for these bunkers. So just spend 5 minutes if you can in a greenside bunker. Okay, so now we're kind of set on our short game. Grab yourself a bottle of water, Gatorade, get up on the practice tee, and you can just bring a few clubs. I would bring a pitching wedge or a sand wedge with me because we want to get used to hitting those short shots to a target. And then I would also bring, a mid iron or so, maybe a 6-iron at the longest. And then I'd also bring my driver or my 3-wood I want to tee off with. and you're not looking to practice at this point, you're just looking to get a few swings in so that when you get on the golf course, you're not feeling out your game in the first couple of holes. A lot of times when we get on these golf courses, they design the first hole as a pretty easy hole. Well, if you're a bogey golfer and a par is a really good score for you, that first hole may be a great chance for you to get a par. If you're a better golfer, that first hole might be a great birdie hole. But all too often we screw up the first hole because we're just not really used to swinging the club that day. So in summary, to get ready to get on the golf course, we want to get a good night's sleep, make sure we're fed, get there early, practice all aspects, the type of shots that we expect to hit that day, then make sure we have a couple extra minutes to get on that first tee. And if it's an easy hole, make that birdie or make that par. All right, so when it comes to getting on the golf course and having your best day today, a couple things we want to do strategy-wise, just a few things. Number one, think of each hole you're playing and think about playing the hole from the green backwards. So if you're playing a 350-yard par 4, boy, if you could be in the middle of the fairway at the 150 marker, you're in good shape. So that means you only have to hit your tee shot 200 yards. You don't necessarily always have to hit that driver. So we're gonna start off here, and I'm gonna tee off with my fairway wood, just get it in the fairway with a good swing, and then from there I'll be able to continue on playing the hole. The other thing we wanna do throughout the course of the day, remember, try to play with a very conservative strategy, but a confident swing. So what that means is, every time that you play a shot, try to play a shot that you feel really confident in, that you can pull off 8 or 9 times out of 10, even if it involves taking less club and even if it involves you not necessarily reaching the green. That's okay. We get in trouble with penalty strokes and major disasters. So if we're just kind of advancing the ball along and our short game is pretty good, we can have a pretty good, reasonable day, a good score, and have some fun. So here we go. I'm going to tee off here with my 3-wood. Okay, that's a great example. Not my best swing of the day, but you know what? I went with a conservative strategy. I'm in the fairway inside of 150 yards, and now I'm ready to make it. My next shot is an attempt towards the green. Let's see if I can make a par or even a birdie. Okay, so I've only got 139 into the flag. The flag's in the front a little bit. There's a little bit of wind. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go for the middle of the green. I'm gonna play this like a 150-yard shot, which is gonna be between an 8-iron and a 9-iron. I'm gonna go ahead and just take a nice relaxed 8-iron. Hanging out to the right a little bit. Okay, just missed the green to the right, but up and down will make our par. So let's go. Okay, so here we are. We're on the first green here, and what's really nice is I'm really close to the hole. Actually, I really haven't hit a particularly good shot yet, but the 2 shots that I've hit haven't been bad, and so I'm in pretty good shape. What I want to show you here, though, is I've got another ball. I want to talk about a philosophy around the greens that's going to help us a lot. I used to always grab a sand wedge for every shot around the green. And here's the trouble with this. On this short little shot I've got to play, if I use a sand wedge, I have to get that ball, up in the air and use a lot of energy to get the ball up in the air and have it land perfectly to get close to the hole. Watch what happens if I don't hit the ball perfectly. If I catch a little bit thin or a little bit fat, I'm gonna have a problem. So that was a little teeny bit thin, and you can see the ball's rolling actually off the green. I landed the ball next to the hole and it's barely on the green. So when we get near the greens, please remember this. The less loft you use, the less skill you need. So I'm gonna grab a much less lofted club. I'm gonna grab an 8-iron here, and I'm just gonna make a putting stroke with my 8-iron with the ball a little bit back in my stance, okay? So I'm gonna use much less loft. If I catch this a little bit thin, if I catch it a little bit fat, it won't be perfect, but it won't be all that bad. So I'm just gonna putt it with my 8-iron. Look at that. Didn't hit it perfect. I meant to land it on the green. It didn't make it on the green. But what happens is I end up in a situation where I made, okay contact, but I've got a good chance to make my putt. when I see people that come out and play and they try to hit those lofted shots on the green all the time, they're really setting themselves up for that one time. You know, they may hit it good once in a while, but the times that they don't hit it well, they're really in a lot of trouble when they actually miss the green. So let's see if we can make this par here. All right, now I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to put my stroke on this ball and I'm going to accept the outcome. Let's see what we can do. All right, nice par. Okay, so I hope this helps you out a little bit in helping you to play your best golf today when you get on the golf course. Remember, we don't have to have a lot of high expectations. We want to make sure that we get ready to play. We're prepared before we get to the golf course. We do our little practicing before we get out there on the short game and on the long game. And then when you get to the course, remember, think of, you know, playing the hole backwards from the green back to the tee. You want to have a conservative strategy with a confident swing. And when you're inside, you know, 50, 60 yards around the green, please remember that the less loft you use, the less skill you need. Do these things when you get out and you get ready to play, and I promise you're going to have a lot more fun and you'll play close to your best the next time you get on the course.